Sean Brady recently opened up about his decision to accept a fight against rising contender Michael Morales at UFC 322, following the announcement from Hunter Campbell. Despite being ranked number 2 in the welterweight division and Morales sitting at number 8, Brady explained that rankings don't dictate his willingness to compete. Speaking on his podcast, Brady made it clear that he's not in the business of waiting for the perfect matchup. "Whether I fight him now or later, I'm going to have to face him eventually," he said. "So, I'd rather get him out of the way now." Fresh off a major victory over Leon Edwards, Brady sees this matchup as an opportunity to solidify his case for a title shot. "Once I beat him, I'll be undeniable for the title. That's my goal, to become so undeniable that they have no choice but to give me the shot," he explained confidently. Brady emphasized that in the UFC, every fighter poses a serious challenge, regardless of their ranking. "There's no such thing as a perfect fight in this organization. Everyone is tough. Everyone hits hard. We're the best fighters in the world, so you have to be ready to face anyone," he stated. When presented with Morales as his next opponent, Brady didn't hesitate. "This is what they came with, and I said, yeah, let's do it." When asked if he had any frustration about moving from fighting the number 1 contender to someone ranked lower, Brady dismissed any notion of disappointment. "It doesn't matter," he said plainly. "At the end of the day, the UFC doesn't care about the rankings, they make the fights. The rankings don't make the fights, the fans don't make the fights, the UFC does." Brady believes that consistent performance and undeniable results will eventually earn him the recognition he deserves. "If I go out there and beat Michael Morales after already beating Leon, they can't keep denying me a title shot," he said. "All I can do is keep fighting, keep winning, and keep proving that I deserve it." He concluded by reaffirming his mindset as a true fighter. "I get paid to fight. I love to fight. So, whether they give me what I want now or later, I'll just keep fighting until I get there anyway." In typical Sean Brady fashion, his focus remains unwavering: fight anyone, anywhere, anytime, until there's no doubt left about who deserves the next shot at UFC Gold. Aljamain Sterling recently shared his thoughts on why he believes Merab Dvalishvili's resume has surpassed that of Khabib Nurmagomedov, sparking an intriguing debate among MMA fans. While Khabib is widely regarded as one of the greatest lightweights in UFC history, Sterling argues that Merab's consistency, activity, and willingness to take risks make his accomplishments even more impressive. According to Sterling, Khabib's dominance cannot be denied, but his career was marked by long periods of inactivity and limited risk-taking. Khabib is considered one of the greatest of all time, but there were stretches where he wasn't competing against the top contenders consistently, Sterling explained. "When you're not always facing the best and taking those risks, it's hard for me to say you're definitely the best without question." Sterling pointed out that Merab's recent run mirrors Khabib's title reign but in a much shorter time frame. "Merab's basically had the same kind of title run Khabib had, just condensed into 1 year," he said. "And honestly, you could argue his performances have been even more impressive. He's breaking all-time takedown records, and he's doing it in less time." Acknowledging Khabib's injuries and time away from the octagon, Sterling was still clear about what separates the two. "I know Khabib dealt with injuries, and that's fair. But at the same time, Merab's been able to stay active, never miss weight, and fight as frequently as anyone in the division. That has to count for something," he stated. "Not everyone can fight as often as Merab, but he's proven that kind of consistency is possible, and it matters." Sterling believes that Merab's work ethic and willingness to constantly compete give him a legitimate place in the Mount Rushmore conversation of MMA. "If Khabib's on the Mount Rushmore, then Merab deserves to be right there too," Sterling continued. "One guy defended his title a few times over several years, and the other did it in a year or so while facing relentless competition. From a fighter's perspective, I know which is more impressive." He concluded by highlighting the mental and physical toughness required to maintain Merab's pace. "It's easy to sit out, recover, and return when you're ready," Sterling said. "It's a lot harder to stay in the mix, constantly fighting top contenders without much time to rest or improve. Merab keeps doing that, and that's what makes his run so remarkable." In Sterling's eyes, Merab's relentless activity and dominance have earned him a legacy comparable, if not superior, to Khabib's historic reign. Max Holloway has weighed in on Tom Aspinall's recent comments about potentially vacating his heavyweight title rather than fighting his close friend and training partner, Ante D'Elia. The two fighters trained together regularly, and Aspinall made headlines earlier this week when he stated that if D'Elia ever rose to contender status, he would refuse to face him, even if it meant giving up his championship belt. Aspinall explained that his friendship with D'Elia means more to him than any belt or paycheck. "My friend and training partner just got to the UFC and already made it into the top 10 after his debut win over Marcin Tybura," Aspinall said. "If I'd never won a title before, maybe we'd have to fight because that would be my dream. But now that I've done it, I'd vacate the belt and let him have his time. He's one of my genuine friends, and there are some things more important than money or titles." Aspinall emphasized that he's already achieved his dream of becoming champion and would rather support his friend's rise than compete against him. However, Max Holloway disagrees with that mindset. The former featherweight champion reacted to Aspinall's statement during a live stream, offering a completely different perspective. Holloway said that, while he respects friendship, business is business when it comes to the fight game. "If you're my friend, there's no hard feelings, bro," Holloway said. "You're working for yours, I'm working for mine. Who am I to say we shouldn't fight? Let's go make this money together, brother, and then go out for dinner and have a drink afterward. It is what it is." Holloway added that fighters spar and test each other for free in the gym all the time, so stepping into the octagon for a massive payday shouldn't be viewed any differently. "We beat each other up in the gym for free," he said. "Now you're telling me there are millions of dollars on the line, and we're not going to do it? Come on, bro." The contrast between the two champions highlights their differing philosophies on loyalty, competition, and professionalism in MMA. Aspinall values friendship and integrity above all else, while Holloway sees fighting, even against a close friend, as a mutual opportunity for success. Both viewpoints showcase the unique personal codes fighters bring into one of the toughest sports in the world. Daniel Cormier has expressed that he's officially done with Jose Aldo's repeated retirement announcements, saying he can't handle another emotional send-off. Speaking candidly on his show, Cormier made it clear that while he deeply respects Aldo and considers himself a massive fan, the repeated retirements have become too much to handle. "Let me say this as a massive fan of Jose Aldo Jr." Cormier began, "That's me laying down a foundation for my love for Aldo. But I'm over it. I'm done with it. I can't do this anymore." Cormier recalled Aldo's initial retirement and induction into the UFC Hall of Fame, saying it was a genuinely emotional experience. "When he retired at the Hall of Fame, I was emotional. Watching him walk out to Run This Town by Rihanna, it hit me," he said. You could see the relief on his face. The stress of his career was gone. He had money, his legacy was secure, and I thought, yes, this guy did it right. He didn't get out completely clean, nobody does, but he walked away with his legacy intact and his faculties still with him. However, after Aldo decided to fight again, Cormier admitted he couldn't go through another emotional roller coaster. "Then he comes back and fights again, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore," he said. "When he walked out in Brazil, the music hit, the crowd was emotional, and I felt it again. But I can't keep doing that. I can't get emotional for someone multiple times over and over again." Cormier continued, pleading directly to Aldo. "Jose, I just want you to be done. If you're done, then be done," he said. "Please, I can't watch another retirement ceremony. If he walks out in Sao Paulo and does it again, puts the gloves down in the octagon, I swear, I'm throwing something at my TV. I can only do that once or twice, that's it. No more." Despite his frustration, Cormier made it clear his feelings come from a place of admiration. "It was awesome. I'm happy he got that moment, he earned it," he concluded. "But please, let's be done with the retirements. Let the man's legacy rest where it deserves to, among the greats." Cormier's co-host agreed completely, saying, "I co-sign that statement. We can move on." Both analysts ultimately concluded that while Aldo remains a legend, his career should close on a high note, without another comeback or farewell tour. Rainier de Ridder and Brendan Allen finally came face-to-face for the first time ahead of their highly anticipated middleweight clash at UFC Vancouver this weekend. The tense face-off marked the beginning of what promises to be a thrilling showdown between two of the division's most skilled and dangerous grapplers, each looking to make a definitive statement on the world stage. De Ridder, the former One Championship double champion, is making his long-awaited transition to the UFC, and all eyes are on how he'll perform against a top-tier opponent in Allen. Known for his elite jiu-jitsu, submission prowess, and calm composure under pressure, De Ridder brings a wealth of championship experience to the octagon. His ability to control opponents on the ground and finish fights quickly has earned him a reputation as one of the most dominant submission artists in the sport. Standing across from him is Brendan Allen, one of the UFC's fastest rising middleweights and a legitimate title contender in his own right. Allen is currently riding an impressive winning streak, showcasing improved striking, relentless pressure, and an ever-evolving ground game. Over the past few years, Allen has matured into a complete fighter, one who can both stand and trade with elite strikers and dominate seasoned grapplers on the mat. The face-off between the two was intense but respectful. Both men showed composure and focus, locking eyes without exchanging words. The crowd in attendance could feel the tension as the two elite grapplers stood just inches apart, symbolizing the stylistic clash that awaits inside the cage. De Ridder, calm and stoic as always, exuded quiet confidence, while Allen appeared fired up and ready to prove himself against the newcomer with championship pedigree. The matchup represents a fascinating stylistic battle. De Ridder's suffocating grappling and top control versus Allen's aggressive submission game and improved striking. Fans are eager to see whether De Ridder can carry his success from one championship into the UFC, or if Allen will solidify his position as a true contender by stopping the hype in its tracks. As the two men walked off the stage, the anticipation for UFC Vancouver grew even stronger. This fight isn't just about rankings, it's about respect, legacy, and proving who truly belongs at the top of the middleweight division. Both fighters have made it clear, they're not coming to play it safe, they're coming to finish the fight.